All right, my Aries friends, how are you today? Michael Eschenburg here, bringing you your monthly horoscope for April of 2020. All right, all things considered, this is a pretty mild month in astrology land. All right, we've had the first 3 months with so much energy going on that April kind of gets a little bit of a relaxation, a little bit of movement. Pluto starts to retrograde later on in the month, but all in all, pretty mild. And it's like we're getting out of the fog. Let me go to the chart here and show you exactly what's going on day by day. All right, now let me come back for a second. If you are new to this channel, I do daily horoscopes and daily meditations, right, every single day. But the daily horoscopes dive much deeper into all these different aspects. So if you're new, check it out. There's a lot going on. Okay, so on the 3rd here, let's go day by day. On the 3rd, we've got Neptune conjunct Mercury. Mercury conjunct Neptune, okay? So this is going to happen in your 12th house of completion, all right? Endings. There's something ending. There's something going on here. There's something with, you could be your dreams, your imagination, your intellect, your communication, how you're communicating to the outside world. Is this you beating yourself up, thinking that you're not good enough to achieve your dreams, my Aries friends? The sun's in your sign. Happy birthday. So hopefully there's an end to this kind of thinking or obsessive style thinking that's been going on with this Jupiter-Pluto conjunction. Okay, that's creating that little sesqui square right there. So hopefully there's a little bit of an end to this kind of negative thinking, and to really propel you in saying, yes, I can absolutely connect with my dreams, connect with my imagination, and connect with my intuition in a way that I've never been able to before. So that's a really beautiful part of this month. Now on the 4th, very next day, the Jupiter-Pluto conjunction. This happens in your 10th house. This is career. This is public image. Again, there's two sides to every coin in astrology. On one side, this can be very obsessive. They can be very dark, and when we're dealing with Pluto, we're dealing with our shadow self. We're dealing with, the dark side, going inward. Jupiter's saying more. Let's expand upon this. Let's do the shadow work that we have to do. And these connections between Neptune, Mercury, and Pluto and Jupiter, again, can aid in a negative side, or it can aid in a really positive side and positive breakthroughs. It's all about you and how you manage to do that shadow work and how you're dealing with oneself right now and being inspired. Again, this is your birthday month. Well, if you're Aries sun anyway. But so there's the positive side. There's death and transformation. Some part of you is dying. Some part of this career, some part of the how you view outside authority, how you view yourself as an authority, is changing and expanding. Right? You're the ruler of your own kingdom, and that's a really powerful placement in your chart. Again, you are the authority. Right? Then on the 7th, we have this Libra full moon. Awesome. Whatever. It's there on the 7th. It happens at 10:35 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay. So obviously this is going to happen around your 7th house, 6th, 7th house, depending again on where your rising is at, which is going to, of course, deal with relationships. We want to balance everything out. We want to balance ourselves with the other, balance the authority within self, balance to our thoughts, balance to our minds, balance with our partnerships. Any kind of partnerships, if that's work partnerships, if that's love, romantic partnerships, your husband, your wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, brother, sister, whatever, as well. I think I skipped over this, but Venus moved into your 3rd house on April 3rd, right? So that happens kind of early in the month. So Venus exits your 2nd house of money, where her home sign is, money and dealing with your finances and tradition, personal possessions and things, and enters the sign of Gemini, right? Which is about siblings. It's about information, about kind of falling in love with a bit of everything and seeing the joy. What's good about this is like if we always want, you know, the calm roads, if we always want the calm, easy, the beautiful day on the beach, and we hate the rain or something, you know, this is like, look, this is good. The rain is necessary. The rain is important for us, for our crops to grow, to give us time to rest, to give us days to spend inside, or to alter our plans of any kind, you know. And it's just like, go with the flow of these things. So dealing with the shadow work that we've all been dealing with, and you're specifically dealing with as an Aries, and especially with this, the Neptune-Mercury conjunction, the Pluto-Jupiter conjunction, and then Venus entering the sign of Gemini, it gives you an opportunity to really look at all of those things that we might not necessarily enjoy looking at, and find a love and a beauty for all of them. You know, find a love and a beauty for our own fears. You know, what is a fear? Why do we have a fear? Does it hold us back from something? Right? A fear of mortality, a fear of failure, a fear of success, some of us have, a fear of our dealing with our own shadows, of just sitting, of doing nothing. You know, it's an old Buddhist saying, doing nothing is doing something. So Venus entering your, you know, third house somewhere in this month, and it will retrograde there in the third house, but not until May. Right? Gives you plenty of time to fall in love with life and all the beautiful aspects, all the little crevices, the shadows, and all the light. Right? Now, on the 8th, right, we have Mars sextile to Chiron. I'm not going to talk about every single aspect here, but this one gets, you know, kind of important. Mars sextile to Chiron at 6 degrees. Okay. In fact, I think they moved together from 5. Oh, yeah, there we go. 6 degrees, 6 degrees. All right. At the same time, Mercury creating the septile up here. All right. So this is fate energy. This is you dealing with something. It's having your mind set on the future, right? If this is the pool that we're in forever, you know, you're creating new ways. You got Mars, your ruling planet, up there in Aquarius, right? Associated fire, air sign. Okay, so it's just like there's a spark and initiation to start looking at the future, and how do we want to maneuver through this future? What do we want to create? How do we want to bring people together in a time where we can't? Or maybe we actually get to open the doors and go outside and play with our friends. Then you're actively going to be seeking, you know, Mars in your 11th house here, actively going to be seeking community, actively seeking some sort of a friendship, friendships, actively seeking using technology, forward thinking, forward momentum, being a visionary, which is something that you're good at. You're great at starting the spark of the match, right? The start of the fire. So you have this intuitive, initiative impulses that are going to create something very futuristic thinking, which is really, really, really powerful. All right. And now we've got Mercury. All right, finally, on the 12th, on the 11th, excuse me. Mercury finally enters Aries, okay, leaving your 12th house. It's been in Pisces since the beginning of February, retrograded back, right? That's a long time for Mercury to be in a sign that's at its weakest. Okay, and it's going to fly through the sign of Aries. Okay, so it enters here on the 11th, and then Mercury enters Taurus on the 27th. That's how fast Mercury is going through Aries this month. Okay, it's incredibly fast. 26 days, out of there. Okay, it's like we've got work to do. We've been slow and sluggish for far too long. We're going to, you know, use these impulses, and right off the gate, forming a sextile to Saturn, forming a sextile to Mars. You know what I mean? Like, so there's this constant connection of taking the initiative, sparking the match, and where are we going with this? You have a future. You have a vision. There's something that you're creating, you know, that you're bringing out of the shadows right now, right? Really, really, really powerful time. Then on the 19th, of course, the sun is going to move into Taurus, right? And Pluto stations retrograde, on the 25th. I already talked about that. On the 27th, it actually goes retrograde. On the 22nd, there's going to be a new moon at 10:26 p.m. in Taurus. Okay, and this is in your money house. This is really powerful because it's like all of the things that you've been dealing with, the shadow work that you've been going through. It's like you're a changed person. Although this astrology isn't, a ton like the past 3 months has been. I mean, my list here for the past 3 months has just been like, how do I get through this and try to make it a 15-minute video it's still impactful? Because I can talk about the month for an hour. You know what I mean? It's at that point, our attention spans are this big. So, this month, although there's not a lot of planetary huge movements, at the same time, there's an extreme amount of growth, individual and personal growth, right? As we're being forced to. It's like we're being forced to play our hand. You can't fold. You can't ditch out of this, So it's like we have to act. We have to do something. We can't stay idle this long. And my Aries friends, there's no way you're staying idle this long. It's just like, you got to go. We got things to do, right? So, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. We got the new moon here on the 22nd in your money house. The sun here is going to conjunct Uranus on the 26th. So there's some sort of breakthrough in money, okay? Mercury enters Taurus on the 27th, your second house. So then all this energy, as soon as like Venus moves out of your second house, all this other energy is going to move into your second house and saying like, look, because you did this shadow work, because you align with your dreams, your imagination, you followed your heart, okay, you have this vision of the future. It's time to implement this, to use this knowledge to make some money, right? You're a doer. You're a go-getter, and you're going to make things happen this month. I'm proud of you, working through the shadow like this. I'm being serious. Like, we're all dealing with intense energies. And in your chart, it's really intense, and what you're dealing with and going through. Give everyone kudos, like extreme kudos for getting through this time and seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. So thank you, my Aries friends, for hanging out with me. Check out the dailies, check out the meditations, just trying to put some good stuff out there. Keep us all sane during these times. All right, have a happy month of April, and we'll see you tomorrow.